All right, welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Islamic House of Israel YouTube. And today should be another good one. We're talking about the wealth gap and racism. All right, we're talking about the wealth. We're going to compare and contrast. It's not the wealth gap. It's not racism that's holding black people back. It's the curses. And the Hebrew Israelites and the Muslim Israelites, we can agree on that. We can totally 100% agree on that point. All right, that is the curses our people are under is the reason why we're having such a hard time. Now, when we say curses, I'm not talking about the curse of Ham. I'm not talking about the curse of Canaan. I'm talking about the curse of not following the law. All right, so let's get that straight. We're not talking about no curse of Ham. All right, so I want to go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead. No more talking. Let's get into it. Open it up. It's not the wealth gap or racism. It's the curses. And a lot of people that believe that we can spin our way out of it and we can get reparations and we can just education our way out of it. That's not going to happen. Because there's a force. There's a force that created us that's holding us back. I am to you a faithful messenger, so fear God and obey me. I ask you no payment for this. My payment is only from the Lord of the worlds. There is only one God that has no partners. Worship him. Let's get to it. Agenda, wealth gap, historical systematic racism, black leadership priorities, criminal justice system, the curses. The rich and the poor. We know money doesn't make you happy. Employed full-time, wealth gap. Homeowners, even among homeowners, there's a big wealth gap between whites and blacks. All right, how did all this happen? I'm not going to explain every point. You can go back and look at it yourself. Historical systematic racism, black codes, and it's a lot more. Lynching, black codes, Jim Crow, redlining, terrorist acts, chattel slavery, racial propaganda. That's when they used to put us on TV and hurt our feelings, call us names, whitewash European Christianity, and the damage has been done. All right. So all of this has happened. And now we are an injured, damaged people. All right, so the black leadership, their priorities. This is the black leadership. This is what they focus on. This is what they think will solve the race problem. I mean, not solve the race problem, sorry. This is what they think will solve the race problem and the wealth gap. Their goal is to eliminate racism. Okay. To me, I think that's an outdated goal because let's go down here to the definition. Racism is a belief. The belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. So racism is more of an ideology, is a belief, or ideology, is it possible to eradicate it? And if we eradicate racism, will that change the wealth gap? Will that close the wealth gap? Would it have any effect on the wealth gap if there's no racism? That doesn't mean a person is going to be generous, because like I said before, the damage has been done. Okay? The damage has been done. So I could be a descendant of a slave master, and I could say I'm not a racist anymore, and really not be a racist. But I could be a non-generous person. I'm not a racist, but I'm not giving you my money. So if we eliminate all racism on the planet, that does nothing to the wealth gap. That doesn't make a person a generous person. A person that wants to give black people anything. All right? That actually helps that person with his heart or her heart. Also, the black leadership today, another method is voting. They think voting is going to close the wealth gap. Education, close the wealth gap. Equal opportunities. Partitioning for reparations. They think that will close the wealth gap. Or some type of massive wealth transfer. Right? They think that will close the wealth gap. All right. So we're not going to look at everything. I picked out a couple, and we're going to see, is this really possible? All right. Should our black leadership be focused on other things? And we're going to pick out some other things that they should be focused on. And then we're going to learn the root. We're going to go to the scriptures. We're going to learn the root of this wealth gap. Unrealistic methods. A pipe dream. Whites have 614 billionaires. Blacks have 5 billionaires. You can name out the billionaires on your finger. You can put them on your finger. Okay? Jay-Z, Michael Jordan, Oprah, David Stewart, Robert Smith, and 2 of the billionaires are married to white women. Thus, if something happens to them, if Michael Jordan dies today, his wealth, his billions will go to a white woman. All right? If Robert Smith dies today, his wealth will go to a white woman. So you can eliminate those 2. We're left with 3. Okay? I'm talking about generational wealth being passed down. Okay? To close this billionaire wealth gap, they will have to artificially create billionaires for black people. Because we're 12.6%. I think we might be a little higher, 13% of the population. So we should be, what, 12% of the 614 billionaires? I don't know. You could calculate that yourself. So they will have to artificially pick people out to make them billionaires, to close this wealth gap of billionaires. Okay? That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to give anybody billions of dollars. The government have to do that. And I don't know. And who would be the one that's going to be chosen to be the billionaire? Okay? They'll have to create billionaires for us. All right? To close that wealth gap. All right. So the methods of eliminating racism, and it is a noble thing to eliminate racism. It's a noble thing. But it's not going to close the wealth gap. Let's talk about education. Chances of becoming a millionaire by race in America based off your education. High school degree by race. If you're black, you have a 1% chance. And my source is at the bottom. You have a 1% chance to become a millionaire if you got a high school diploma. Okay? Chances of becoming a millionaire with an associate's degree. You have a 1% chance. All right? Asians have a greater chance to become a millionaire. getting them an associate's degree. Chances of becoming a millionaire with a bachelor's degree by race. You have a 3% chance to become a millionaire if you have a bachelor's degree. Asians have 16%. Whites have 18%. Hispanics have a greater chance to become a millionaire than black people with a bachelor's degree. Let me see. Hispanics beat us in that area. Wow, Hispanics beat us in all those areas. Master's degree. Okay, we have a 6% chance to become a millionaire if we have a master's degree. To close the wealth gap, we have to produce more millionaires. Black people got to have more millionaires. So when the politicians say, let's pump education, education is good, but it's not going to close the wealth gap. All right? And Asians have a greater chance to become millionaires with a master's degree. Hispanics and whites, they all have greater chances to become millionaires with education. All right? Overall chances of becoming a millionaire, Asians are number one. And they have the least. They're 6% of the population. And they have a greater chance to become a millionaire than black people. And white people. Asians. Okay? So let's go back. So eliminate racism. With that, close the wealth gap. Education. Voting. I'm not saying not to do these things. But these things are not like this silver bullet that just gonna, if we just correct this, everything's gonna be all right. No. If everybody go out, if 99.9%, if 100% of black people go out and vote, it will not change the wealth gap. If all black people get a bachelor's degree, it will not change the wealth gap. This will have to be artificially done. Let's talk about reparations. Reparations, the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to otherwise helping those who have been wrong to repair compensation for war damages. Okay? So whites, this is their claim for not supporting reparations for black people. Whites claim they never owned slaves. All right? So if you look at the word reparations, it is to make amends for the wrong one has done, or like war damages. It deals with war damages. It deals with direct payment for somebody doing something to you. Okay? So the whites are correct. They all right. I ain't have no slaves. I ain't fight you in no war. I didn't do anything directly to you. The word should be recompense. We want recompense. All right? Recompense deals with a loss or an injury. You don't have to do nothing to me. It deals with a loss or an injury. Reparations deal with a person directly doing something wrong to you or some type of war damage. If the slave was alive today, the slave would receive reparations. We want recompense because you killed my great-great-grandmother and it caused me injury. We want recompense. We want justice. All right? We want revenge. We want justice. We want judgment. We want recompense. Reparations. See, they in law, you go and try to get reparations, they'll be like, nah, she ain't do nothing. They can deny you that. You're using the wrong word. Also, immigrants. Immigrants in the 1800s. The immigrants that came in the late 1800s had nothing to do with slavery. That's what the whites claim. They came over here way after slavery. Okay? So they're like, reparations, They say it was a long time ago. They say we fought a war. Our kin people died for you. And also, We gave you Sierra Leone. We gave you Liberia. Okay? So we're fighting for reparations when there are loopholes in reparations that the white people can use. All right. So if we all get an education, let's go back. Let's go back. We all vote. We all get education. Equal opportunity, whatever that means. Now, this massive wealth transfer, that's a pipe dream. I wouldn't do that if I was them. If I had millions of dollars, I would not give you millions of dollars. If I had $2 million, I would not give half of it to a random person. You wouldn't do that. So it's a pipe dream. They're not going to transfer their money to you. They're not going to transfer their tax dollars to you. Okay? They're not going to do that. They're not that generous to do that. I don't know how many humans on the planet is that generous to do that. All right? So our leaders, politicians, they're playing off your emotions. They have reparations and they're playing off your emotions. They're selling your pipe dreams. Okay? And what I don't like is the Republicans will tell you straight up. They'll tell you it's socialism, and we're not gonna just give away. They'll tell you they're not giving you no money. Democrats will play with you. Reparations and this and that. I hope I'm wrong. All right. Okay, forget about that fever stuff. All right, now we're finna go into the scriptures. We're gonna see how we can get our recompense, how we can get our justice, how we could get our judgments, our rebuilding, our healing. We're not gonna get it from the enemies that put us in slavery. We only could get it from the Creator. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, and if your soul abhors or hate my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant. We have some people that hate, they despise God's judgments. They despise his statutes. They despise it. (26) All right, let's move on. I also will do this unto you. I will appoint over you terror, consumption. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm sorry. A burning, that word means agu, means fever. A burning fever that shall consume the eyes, cause sorrow of the heart attack, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. So if we hate his commandments, we hate it. Man, I ain't doing no Sabbath, man. You know? Now, the coronavirus is a consumption. Consumption is a lung. It attacks the lungs. The burning fever, make your eyes red and you get a high fever. And it causes sorrow of the heart. Causes you have to get into your bed and feel sad and sick. Coronavirus is a consumption. Yellow fever, consumption. Pneumonia, flu, and a lot of more other things. And if ye were not yet for all this, hearken, listen unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. So, criminal justice system, when you do something wrong, you will get a longer sentence. That's not the racism. That's the creator doing that through them. 7 times. Black male offenders receive sentences on an average 20.4% longer than similar situations white male offenders. Even without the account of past violent past, 20.7% longer sentences. If you get 10 years, add 2. Higher incarceration rates, higher probation rates. So now, you will be warned. If your grandma ever told you, if you do something, you're going to get in trouble quicker than the white boy or the Asian boy. If you do something wrong, you're going to get in trouble. If you do something wrong, you're going to get a longer sentence. If you don't do nothing wrong, the Most High ain't going to mess with you. But if you steal something, you're going to get 7 times for your sin, for what you do. Now, the Creator's not going to mess with you. There's some people that they don't steal, they don't do wrong, and the Most High don't mess with them. The curses is based off what you do, your sins. Willie Simmons, he spent the last 38 years of his life in prison for stealing $9. He was convicted of first-degree robbery and sentenced to life without parole in 1982. He stole $9. And he's sitting in prison 38 years. It's a lot of more stories like this. Everyone know the government has, in the United States, has admitted the disparity. They have admitted it. These studies come from the United States. And let me tell you, even if they wanted to, they can't do anything about it. The Most High turned Pharaoh's heart against the children of Israel to attack them. When you're in front of that judge, the Most High turned that judge's heart. He can't even help it. He might like you. He might like you. But his heart is turned to give you a messed up sentence. 7 times more for your sins. Black empowerment and pride. And I will break the pride of your power. And I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass. So when you get riled up, because the children of Israel, we get riled up. We like to talk loud. We like to get riled up. We got our speakers, our loud speakers. Yeah, justice. Yeah, they did this and they did that. Black pride, black power, black empowerment. We on the move. Nobody can stop us. They forgot about the Creator. They went out there, we're non-religious. We're against religion. They forgot about faith. They forgot about their Lord. We are connected to the Creator. When the Creator, it says when he set up all the different nations, all the different tribes, he picked Jacob. He put angels over all the other nations. And he's going to be over Israel. He's our Elohim. The creator of the heavens and the earth said, nah, I'm not going to let no angel be over y'all. I'm over Jacob. I'm over the Israelites. He's personally over us. We can't go without him. You're not going to black power your way through nothing. You was dealing with a beast. True to Israel. In the Constitution, I have the right to have a gun in the Constitution. They don't care about that. In the Constitution, you was a slave. So this is what happened. This is what happened. I didn't know this. I looked it up. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I looked it up. Huey Newton died a crack addict. They didn't want to join the Nation of Islam because they did not want the discipline. They did not want the religion. They did not want the Islam. Tupac's mother was a crackhead. A lot of the Black Panther movement, a lot of it shifted over to turning into gangs. And then crack hit and just totally destroyed them. And the police came in and did their thing. I will break the pride of your power. South Africa. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. All of that is broken. Living in slums. It didn't last. It was broken. He'll break it with a famine. I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass. You're not going to go into war without him. He ain't going to let it happen. He's our Elohim. Not going to leave him out. We went from that. Let me go back. We went from that to that. Because we went in the war without our Elohim. Famine. And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield its produce, nor shall the trees of the land yield their fruit. And if you walk contrary unto me, you walk in opposition, and will not hearken, will not listen to me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. According to your sins. So he is not picking on people. When you go worship an idol, he gets you. If you don't worship an idol, the Creator won't mess with you. It's what you do. You're not getting curses because you're black. You're getting curses because of the stuff you're worshiping. When you do voodoo, he's going to stop it from raining. And some Muslims are being hypocrites over there. Some of the Sufis be doing voodoo at nighttime. The Creator knows. Creator know what y'all be doing at nighttime. A lot of these Muslim countries, especially the black Muslim countries, be doing stuff at night. They be mixing their tradition with the Islam. And then it don't rain over there. And they be stuck in poverty. Because the Creator saw what you was doing at night. You look good in the daytime. I'm a Muslim. Yeah, that country is a Muslim country. But you go over there at night, they're not no Muslim country. They over there doing their traditional idol worshiping, their traditional mess. They mix it. And then it make us look bad as hypocrite. It make us look like, see, the Muslim countries are doing wrong. Allah does not help the Muslim countries. No, Allah see what they're doing. A lot of those countries are hypocrites. If they're 100% with the Creator, it will rain. It'll start raining. The Quran talks about how the angels can take dry land and make it fertile again. It talks about how the Creator pushed the clouds. The Creator could push the clouds towards you, or He can push the clouds away from you. He could take all your clouds in your land and push them all into the ocean. Your sky will be bare with no clouds, and your clouds will be in the ocean. He pushed all the clouds in the ocean. But He also can push those clouds back easily. Push those clouds back and give you rain. But our people try to be slick. They want to please everybody. I want to keep my tradition away. I want to keep this. No, your ancestors made that shit up. Just telling you the truth. What's next? I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. And if ye will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, these things are happening to you so you can reflect, so you can be reformed, so you can think, hey, this ain't working. I feel cursed. That's why it's happening. And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrying of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hands of the enemy. Sierra Leone, Civil War. African Americans went over there. They went over there with their Christianity, worshiping an idol, associating partners. Most High roused the locals up to attack Liberia. Biafran War. Might be saying it wrong. Biafran War in Nigeria. Igbos got slaughtered. Fulanis came down and just slaughtered millions. Fulanis, that's the sword. Fulanis that chased us all around Africa. We had to watch our back. He'll send militias in on us. The KKK. They ran up on us. Poverty. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, He's gonna break our power. We're gonna get riled up and get powerful and try to be militant. He's gonna break it. Then He's gonna break our bread. He's gonna make it where we don't have no food. And you're gonna have 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven. See that? And I think other translations say pot. Other translations say one pot. So you see this scene right here. 10 women gonna be in one pot. And they shall deliver you your bread, and again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. So the food that she's making, that these 10 women cooking at one pot, the food that they're making is not even nutritious. You got to eat some rice. Rice, it fills you up, but you need more nutrients than that. Some bread that ain't got no nutrients in it. You're gonna be eating to just fill your stomach. You're gonna be eating rice just to fill you up, so you don't feel the hunger pains. then your skin is you're not gonna have the nutrients, and you're gonna look old. And you're gonna die early. That's crazy. 10 women at one pot cooking something that's not nutrition, not even nutritious. And this is happening in Africa. Now I know you might ask, well, Brother Malmadh, why they happening over here? I'm gonna explain to you why it's not happening over here. And be careful when you talk independence, black man, because you have to be prepared for independence. You can't go for your independence without your God. Because if you go for your independence without your God, you're gonna end up like that. He's gonna make famine happen, and your women gonna be at a pot, looking crazy, and you're gonna be begging people for aid. And I know a lot of you laugh, and I did too. You laughed at the Africans when they took the Chinese man, right? And they made him a chief, and they put him on top of the shoulder. A lot of people laughed, but guess what? They know that everything they touch is cursed. They know they had to get a foreigner. They say, "I need you to be the king." They actually, that was wise. If I was over there, I would go get a white boy and say, "Hey man, you run it like we got curses on us. Everything we touch don't work." That's in Deuteronomy. We got the curse of the law on us. We need foreigners to come in. That's why they put that Chinese man as chief, because they can't get right. Everything they do, it don't work. That's why they let the foreigners set up. Because if the foreigners didn't set up, they would die. 7 more times for your sins. And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury. He gonna come at you in anger. And I will chastise you 7 times for your sins. So he gonna add 7 times more for your sins. It's gonna get so bad. And this has happened before. It's gonna get so bad. And this has happened in the Bible, and also has happened in Africa. And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols. And my soul shall hate you. And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. The Most High, again, he is not just doing this to be a bully. He's doing this because you're increasing, going opposite of him. He said, don't make no graven images. You make a graven images, he coming for you. Don't sleep with your daughter. You sleep with your daughter, he coming for you. He didn't start it. We started it. Don't commit adultery. You're going out committing adultery. Nobody committing adultery with every man. Nobody's checking you. He's coming for you. Don't kill your brethren. He's coming for you. Don't shed innocent blood. Gangs. Now, if you all was doing that gang stuff and you were independent in your own land, the Most High will close it where it won't rain on y'all, and you would die of hunger. He'll send a disease in there to stop it. Now there are accounts, and I hate to say this, but there are accounts where the European, when he was taking us into slavery, where he said some of us, not all the tribes, but some of us was reduced, children of Israel, to ape-like behavior. There's record that, I know the Europeans are racist, but there's records where the Europeans said, not all the tribes, some of the tribes the Europeans said, the Muslims, that they were upright, but they are records where they're saying that some of the tribes was reduced to being cannibals. So this must have happened to them. Because when we migrated into Africa, we must have really started worshiping idols and doing some evil stuff. And we was reduced. Be ye apes. We was reduced. Not all of us. We didn't accept there was some that accepted Islam, whatever version. But there was some of us that was reduced mentally. Most High took away the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Took away our intelligence, our brains, and we was reduced. And the poverty hit us so bad that we had to start eating each other. Eating people. And when that happens, the Most High will send in a sword. The Most High will send in the Fulani to beat us up, to enslave us, to civilize us back. Because we were gone. At one point, we migrated into Africa and we were gone. We were mentally gone. Now, I know a lot of the Hebrew Israelites, they look and they see some of the Africans with bones in their nose and stuff like that. Those are Israelites. I looked at the DNA. Those are Israelites. I'm not talking about the ones in Sudan. They don't even have bones in their nose. But I'm talking about that. There's Bantu. They have a history before colonization. They have pictures of them with bones in their nose. So some of us converted to Islam. Some of us stayed upright. Some of us didn't convert to Islam, but still created empires and stuff. But there was a section of us that went straight, mentally went crazy. Okay. And yes, we was homeless in the woods with bones in our nose. Not all of us. Not all of us. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies will dwell therein, shall be astonished at you. And I will scatter you among the heathens, and will draw a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths. So if we was in the land, the Most High made it where it don't rain. He put so much famine on us that we had to get up. We had to migrate. And if you go look at the land today, a lot of that land is desert, and it used to not be desert. In the Middle East, a lot of that land used to not be desert. But he made it where it did not rain so much that we had to migrate. We had to get the hell up out of there. Or we was going to start eating each other. Or we was going to starve to death. We had to leave. Just like when the children of Israel left and went into Egypt because of famine. So we had to leave the Middle East because of famine and because people was Persians and all them was coming after us. Assyrians. So now, let me ask you the question again. Mr. Malmadh, why, some black people in America are living pretty good. We're not eating people. We're not eating food in a pot. Some Africans are not eating food in a pot. Okay? Some Africans are living good. A lot of Africans are living good. They didn't get the curses. The curses are based off your sin. Maybe some of them are not sinning. Maybe some of them give zakat. Also, this is the part, this is what will happen when we're scattered in our own land. And upon them that are left alive, that's us. We're the ones that's left alive. Okay? We're the ones that left alive. Our carcasses was dumped into the ocean during the slave trade. We are the surviving ones. Okay? The people in Africa, the Israelites that's in Africa, the ones that did die from the AIDS. You're the ones that's left over. You survived. What will happen to them? And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies. Faintness, that means we will become scary cowards. We don't have strong, mighty hearts. We're going to be like the lion. What that lion on the Wizard of Oz? We're going to be scary punks. And the sound of a shaking leaf shall chase them. So when a leaf falls from a tree to the ground, we scared of that. We scared of everything. They shall flee as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth them. So right now we got millions of black men in prison, and there's no war. We got war numbers in prison. We got millions in prison, and we ain't even fight no war. So God said right here, when we're in our enemy's land, he didn't say he was going to do anything to us. He said we're going to be punks. We're going to be cowards. That's why we like to march. And a lot of them brothers walking around with guns, talk about they going to do something. They ain't going to do nothing because they cowards. They ain't going to do nothing. Trust me. When the first shot is fired, they gonna be like, "Hey man, why y'all oppressing me?" Our people talk. They like to talk loud and showboat with the guns, and yeah, we're gonna do this, and we're not taking this anymore. What? Let's say the white boys start walking down that road with the same gun and start busting shots. They go, oh, "Y'all oppressing us. I see what y'all do." They go curl up. If them white boys be like, "Hey, let's do this. Let's go to war." They go curl up and scream. They go scream oppression. Because the Most High made them cowards. That's why you be careful. You be careful getting in these groups that claim that they're gonna do something. That talk loud. The Panthers back in the day, they had weapons. And I'm not saying that they even threatened to do anything. But you got a gun. The police, and you call them pigs, call them all kind of names. And when they start riding by doing them drive-bys, we curled up. And why are they doing this to us? Other races don't talk shit. You got a gun, you say you're gonna do something, they gonna be like, oh dang, that's a threat. You know? That's a threat. So be careful entering these groups that say they gonna bust shots because they ain't. When the white militia come at them, they're gonna start screaming racism. And they're gonna run. The hardest gangster will shoot their brother They'll shoot each other. But when the police come, they run. Man, put a gun on, man. They run, jumping over fences and stuff. If you a gangster, stand your ground. You like hard, you hard, but when the police come, you jump and pulling up your pants, jumping over the fence. Pulling up your pants, jumping over the fence. And they shall fall when none pursueth them. We're going to destroy ourselves. This is what's going to happen. This is happening now. This is happening now. We're in our enemy's land, and this is what's happening now. So trust me, a lot of these people talking about Martin Luther King was a punk, Martin Luther King was genuine. He was actually being himself. A lot of these Negroes are pretending to be hard when they are just like Martin Luther King. They just talking mess, but they're exactly like Martin. Martin Luther King was being genuine. He was like, man, I'm scared. These other people are scared in their hearts, and they will run if something happens. They're scared in their heart, but they're not genuine to tell you, hey, man, I'm scared. They got big guns. What else? And they shall fall one upon another as it were before a sword, when none pursueth them. Nobody gonna be messing with you, black man. Why you going to? Nobody gave you your rights. Nobody's messing with you, but you're still dying. There's no war going on, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies. And ye shall perish among the heathens, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up. So we're going to wane away. America, this society, the judicial system, the child support system is eating our people up. The health, the food, diabetes, heart disease, the gangs. You can't live in a certain neighborhood, a bullet will come through the window. This whole society, everything is white. The media, the television, the movies is brainwashing us. We want to straighten our hair. It is eating our soul up. Being here. The education we learn about George Washington. We learn about the presidents that don't even look like us. It's mentally destroying us. This our enemy's land is gonna eat us up. They putting out the 3 strikes law. Destroyed us. Getting shot by the police. The poverty. This beast is gonna eat us alive. We're gonna waste away. And those of you who are left shall waste away in their iniquity, in your enemies' lands. This is what's gonna happen now. Wasting away. Also in their father's iniquity, which are with them, they shall waste away. So some of you are like, man, why in the world is all this bad stuff happening to me? You might be your dad, your father. It's generational curses. You ever heard the Christian say that? Generational curses. It might be something your dad did. And I know a lot of people, I know a lot of Sunnis gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna get in trouble for what your mom did or your dad did. If your mom smoked crack when you was born and you come out a crack baby, that was not your fault, but you gonna have to suffer for it. When the Quran talks about you will not like be accountable for the sins of your fathers, that's talking about the day of judgment. On the day of judgment, you're not going to be in trouble for what your fathers did. But on earth, if your father is a millionaire, then you blessed. you're gonna reap for that. If your father was a crackhead, your mother was a crackhead, you can come out a crack baby. You will receive the sins of your mother and your father. If your mother and father, they don't work, they don't build you an inheritance, then that's gonna fall down on you. You're gonna have to work harder. You have to work harder to get an inheritance. You're gonna have to catch up. If your father has an iniquity and he got the demons on him and he molests his little girl, she gonna have to deal with that. That sin fell on her because of her father's demons. There's certain diseases that you can inherit through your genetics. Certain foods you can't eat because of your parents. I got the sickle cell trait. If I get with a woman that has the sickle cell trait, my child will have full-blown sickle cell. Well, maybe. I think it's like 1 out of every 4 children or something like that. But yeah, my child will have full-blown sickle cell. And it wasn't their fault. It's my fault. It was my iniquity. And that child will have to suffer and be in and out of the hospital for something that I did. So when all the slavery is over with and we're in our enemy's land, we're gonna waste away. And we screaming racism, wealth gap. It must be racism. That's it. It must be racism. That's why we can't get right. That's why we can't progress, because it must be racism. Yeah. Or it must be the wealth gap. Yeah. No. It's that law. Y'all ready for the good news? That's why a brother like me is very, very, very valuable. I know y'all don't see it yet. But hopefully you all will see. Good news. What we got to do to get out of this mess. But if they confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their unfaithfulness, in which they were unfaithful to me, and that they also have walked contrary to me. So we got to confess. Iniquity is not just sin. Iniquity is built up sin, like a bathtub that hasn't been washed. That just iniquity is just built up over time. Every time they use it, it builds up. The sins is built iniquity. You got to confess your iniquity. You got to confess the iniquity of your fathers. And then you got to confess, you got to say, Creator, I was unfaithful. My father was unfaithful. But guess what? The Black Power people, they teach the opposite. Yeah, man, our ancestors, man, they teach their ancestors was so great. They teach the opposite. My ancestors was great, man. The ancestors, yeah. Ancestors did this, my ancestors did that. Man, the ancestors, them jokers was someone was selling us for alcohol. They worship idols. We have no inheritance because they were playing around at the club. They wasn't on their business. They weren't doing what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to work for the next generation. They didn't want to work for the next generation. I'm not working for me. I'm working for the next generation so they can live better. I don't care about balling out. You work for the next generation. So the Black Power movement is teaching that our ancestors were so great. And we supposed to be like, hey, I'm not with that idol worshiper. I'm confessing their sins of what they did wrong to you, Creator. Their unfaithfulness to you. Don't put that on me. I'm not with them. But they're teaching that the ancestors were perfect. And they the ones got us into this mess. They the one worship the idols, doing the voodoo. A lot of the people's uncles and stuff. The reason why we have an influx of homosexuality is because a lot of people's uncles, not mine, now my uncle's cool, but a lot of people's uncles were molesting people. And now the seeds are coming up today. A lot of those homosexuals were molested. Every homosexual that I talked to, I asked them the same question. You know what they tell me? I asked them, I said, were you molested? And they said, yes. Everyone, not one of them that I talked to said they was not. They have a story and they tell you their story. Not one of them said it wasn't that I talked to. So what was done in the dark, what families tried, Black families trying to keep under wraps, we got to pay for now. They done multiplied. They want rights. We know where that came from. We know where that came from. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to do. We got to say our ancestors was wrong. Wow. What else? And that I also have walked contrary unto them and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised heart be humbled, and they then accept the punishment of their iniquity. So we can't say the white man. If it wasn't for the white man, I'd be this. If it wasn't for the it ain't even his fault. You gotta humble yourself and say, we did wrong. It ain't even the white man's fault. My forefathers were jacked up, and we accept the punishment. Most gracious, we accept the punishment. We know you coming against us. We know you walking against us. We walked against you. We turned on you. You did this to us. We're wrong. We humble ourselves. We are totally wrong. We take 100% responsibility for what we did and what our ancestors did. Most High is not gonna help us until we do that. And that's a conservative. We got to pull ourselves from. That's a conservative way of thinking. We can't be victims. No, if we're thinking like victims, the Most High would never come back to us. Oh, I'm a victim. The reason why I'm poor because I'm Black, because of inequality, because of racism. You poor because you won't confess and humble yourself and say your ancestors messed you up. Please, Lord, can you come help us repair this? Because my ancestors messed this up. I don't know what to do. I have no power. What they say, Islam? I submit. I totally submit. I'm done fighting against you, walking against you. I don't care what you say. I don't care if in my mind, if I say I don't like it, go against your own mind, Israel. Go against your own feelings. You hear and you obey. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you read in the Torah and you be like, man. No, you shut your mouth, you hear and obey. You humble yourself. You have no opinion. You be a robot. Because the Creator said, I forgot what verse, but I remember a long time ago. It said in one of the verses that He was going to show Israel that He was wiser than us. We think we smarter than the Creator. He was gonna show us that He's more righteous than us, that He's wiser than us. We really thought we knew what we were doing. We knew it better than Him. The Lord said, "Hey man, don't worship no idol. It ain't gonna hurt you to worship no idol. Don't eat pork. And come on now, it's just a meat. It's just meat. It ain't gonna what it gonna do to you. We think we smarter than Him. So He had to prove to us that you're not more righteous than Him. So until we shut our mouths and we gotta look in the mirror and say, I am dumb. I am dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. The Most High compared us to a woman. A woman that went out and committed adultery. Compared us to a woman that's unruly. We trying to take over the house. We know how to do it. Give me the ranch. I can have the baby. I could do it all. I don't need no man. I could do it all. Arrogant, haughty. And then she fall on her butt. When those bills start coming in, I need a man. I don't know about all that. What the world? That's what the Creator compared us to, a woman. An unruly woman married to a husband. Supposed to work together. Gotta know your limitations. So, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. I will remember, and I will remember the land. So all those black power people, don't listen to them. Humble yourself. Shut your mouth. Whatever it say, I'm going to do to my best ability. That's what you say. And whatever shortcomings, I'm going to pray for forgiveness. That's it. Ain't no reasoning. Ain't no philosophy. Yeah, man, we in the 19th, where the Egyptians said, nah, ain't no. Just do it. And the land also shall be left off. And they shall show that, They shall enjoy, I'm almost done, enjoy the Sabbaths, while she lied desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquities, because they despise my judgment, and because their soul abhor, that means hate, my statutes. And yet for all of that, when they be in the land, all of that, even when we hated his judgments, even after all the mess we did, all the voodoo, all the stuff we did against the Creator, and yet for all that, when they be in the land of the enemies, we over here in America, and I will not cast them away. That's a righteous God. Neither will I hate them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God. He changed not, don't he? Even after all that we put him through, all that he had to beat us up, he still, if we humble ourselves, he said, I won't cast you away. He's a creator. He's the God of his word. He don't break his covenant. We might break our covenant. We might be shady, but it's always on the table. His righteousness, he never changed. But I will, for their sake, remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathens, that I might be their God, and I am their Lord. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Zion, Sinai, by the hand of Moses. Now, the last question, I'm going to come back to this real quick. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on, what is this? Okay, that's me. I'm going to come back to that last question real quick. I want to... Y'all give me 1 second. My computer is about to die. Hold on. Okay, I'm good now. Let's get back here. All right, I'm good. All right, so this last question, the last slide, I want to show y'all real quick. I don't want to remove it. Let me see what I'm doing wrong. I don't want to remove it. Hold on. Start share. Okay, last question. This is going to wrap it up. Hold on. I'm going to share screen. All right, we're good. All right, so why do some black people have money under these curses? All right, some people have money, some people doing well. Like I said before, the curses come based off your sins, based off what you do. Also, this, let me read this in the Quran. Ye are the best of people evolved from mankind. Let's skip down right here. If only the people of the book had faith, it were best for them. Among them are some who have faith, but most of them are perverted transgressors. They will do no harm, barring a trifling annoyance. See? Trifling annoyance, meaning they're cowards. All they're going to do is march. All they're going to do is scream and holler. They're just going to be annoying. The other nations, the heathens, they're not, they don't care. You can march all you want. If they come out to fight you, they will show you their backs, and no help shall they get. Shame is pitched over them wherever they are found, except, listen, this is answer your question, except when under a covenant, all right, from Allah and from men. The Civil Rights Bill is a covenant that we made with the United States. So basically, you got to find you some good white folk, okay? Or some good Arab folk. I guess that's why our people, you know, we be cooning, man. We be cooning. Even the Muslims, they, you know, the Sunni Muslims, they want to be pale Arabs. They coon because we can prosper if they help us. The Civil Rights Bill was a covenant we made with the United States. That's why some people prosper, because we are under a covenant of men. All right. If the United States, some people, if the United States say, hey, you can't join our army no more. A lot of people got wealthy because they joined the army. You can't join our schools anymore. Black man, you on your own. In the United States, because this country was built, this is a white man's country. Don't get it twisted. Always was and always will be. It was built for them. If they tell you, if they take away some of these, they take away all them food stamps that some of the black girls getting. If they tell you, hey, you on your own, stop using our money. Whose face is on the money? We're under a covenant of men. So that's why we can make money. We can prosper. Cause we under the white man. But if we were independent, like Haiti, we would have to like, hey, call France. Hey, France, can you like give us some aid? Can you help us? We'll allow you to come in here, build businesses. We'll allow you to come in here, take our resources, just build some hotels, help us out. And that's real. So either we're gonna be under a covenant, we're gonna be in the covenant of Allah, or we're gonna have to like link up with these nations. We're gonna have to find us some, like the old slaves, you say, you better find you some good white folks to be in a covenant with, to help you. You sharecrop. If that white man told you to get the hell off his land, then you would have been jacked up. Our people. Now, and another thing, every black person is not a slave. Is not a traitor to Israel. There was Fulanis that went into slavery. Some black people over here might have a little Ishmael in them. Ishmael are not under the curses. Like, what if Michael Jordan is Fulani or something like that? What if Michael Jordan is not even an Israelite and he's a billionaire? You never know. He had to do a DNA test. So we can become billionaires and millionaires and stuff, but we have to be under a covenant, and we are. Martin Luther King put us under a covenant of the Civil Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Bill. So now you can prosper. But this is why I am here. This is why I'm here. Because the Gentiles are going to be judged very shortly. And that covenant that we got with them, they ain't going to have nothing. They're going to be destroyed. We're going to be on our own. So some black people, they gonna go down with the white man. They gonna hold the white man, you know, they going down. Right? What Malcolm say? We poor boss, right? I don't know what he said. He said something like that. Someone gonna go down with him. But we gotta keep the laws and be under the covenant of Allah. So when we become independent, we can prosper. There's not gonna be the white man is gonna get judged. He had a certain time to put us and punish us. He got paid for it. He got reward for punishing us. That was his job. He got paid pretty good. He's a billionaire, millionaire. He doing good. Okay? He did his job. He got his payment. Now he has a time where he will be judged. And we will not have him anymore to lean on. We will not have the pale Arab to lean on. We will not have the Europeans to bring us rice and aid anymore. What we gonna do? Just die? Now we gotta get back to the laws. So when we are independent and the heathens are judged and taken away from us, we won't just wither away. That's why I'm here. And we have no choice. There is no choice. I think that's the last one. Okay. All right. So go, if you don't want to keep the laws, go find you some good white folks before the judgment happen. You'll make a lot of money. But when the judgment happen, you'll be going down with them. Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's see what we got here. Hope y'all like that little lecture. You know, I'm like Islam family, Islam. Gotcha. How you doing? Dang, I went a long time. That was pretty cool. Salam, salam. How you doing? Walaikum salam. Very important episode. All right, let's see. Thank you, Noor. Add some more. Dr. King was strategic. I think he knew the curses. Yeah, he might have been smart. I don't, I know that's sad, but it's the truth. What we got? We got more. Here we go. Generational. What is it? Generational. Your father and mother teach you what they know. That's true. If they teach you to worship idols, more likely you're going to worship idols. Like the post-traumatic slave syndrome, yeah, we learn certain things and we pass it down. Food choices, life choices, etc. Yes. And that's in our psychology, man. It's in our psychology. It's kind of hard for us to break from tradition. Like, that's the hardest thing to break from tradition. Hold on, let me do something. To try to do something new. I was made different. I'm just rebellious to that mess. I always was. Absolute submission. Yep. Good job. Oh, more truth. You just woke up. Dang, 11:54. You just woke up. Wow. You got some good sleep, man. Hope you got some good sleep. All right, Israelite lives matter. Oh, where we at? Let me see what you say. That's the movement right there. Israelites lives matter. We submit. We ask for forgiveness. We will follow the law. Yeah, Israelites. That's like, to me, that's like victim. Black lives matter. We like crying and stuff. I like we will follow the laws. I like we ask for forgiveness. Yeah, I like we submit. But Israelite lives matter. We begging. I already know my life matter. What the world? I know my life matter. I'm a freaking victim. That's a good point. Every black person. Yep, that's true. Every black person is good. I mean, I say every black person is good. Every black person is not an Israelite. Yeah. I'm about to drop this link. I think, is this the link? Yeah. Let me make sure I get y'all the right thing. Yep. About to drop this link. Anybody want to come in, you could come in. If not, I will shut it down. Begging the creator. Yes, we beg the creator. Now, some people choose they choose to say they're not going to believe because the creator said in the Torah, you either going to serve me or you're going to serve your enemies. So when our people worship white Jesus, they're worshiping a white man. It's a symbol of the white man. It is. So if they don't serve the creator, they're going to serve the white man. They're going to serve you. You're going to serve your enemies. And if he treats you good, he treats you good. If he treats you bad, he treats you bad. It's by his limb. But it's going to come a time where every nation, he's not going to be on top forever. He had respite. And I'm not talking about, he's not Iblis now. I'm just saying. I'm just using that word. Noah, come in here for a minute. I want to know what's on your mind. I dropped the link. Anybody want to come and make a statement? Or anything? Assalamu alaikum. Your mic is muted. There we go.
Assalamualaikum.
Islam.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. What I meant with the movement, with the Israelites matter, is really a cry out to the Most High that
Right.
our lives matter, and how do we know how do we express that our lives matter to the Most High? By coming into absolute submission. Number one, understanding that there is no God but the one God who has no sons, no daughters, no partners.
That's right.
That the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is the final prophet.
That's right.
And understanding that the Most High gave laws, statutes, and commandments,
Right.
and we will follow those to the T.
We have to. Yeah.
That it should be the movement.
That should be it.
That should be the movement. But we're so, as a people, scattered. Not only scattered over the planet, but we're scattered in our thinking. We got these folks over here who want to do this into whatever Egyptology or whatever they're into, even though we're not Egyptians. Never were. I mean, we live there. We live there, but that's not us. That's not our people. You got some people who want to, worship the Trinity. We're just kind of all over the place. And so, inshallah, we can get a group of even if it's just like you said, a small group of people that understands that there's only one God.
Yeah.
Follow the previous revealed scriptures. That's the start.
Yeah. So
real good topic, something that we really needed to hear.
And let me tell you something. It's just in my heart, I really think that because I'm gonna go to Africa and teach like crazy. I think they really gonna feel it because they don't have a covenant like we have a covenant with this white man. That's why we living a little better. They on their own. They feeling those curses. They have to really look outside and make sure it rains. They get drought. They are independent. They feel every curse that I just read. Some of the curses we don't feel because we under the white man. I think they're gonna be like, wow. I think they're gonna feel it more than anybody. They're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. And so I'm glad that you brought that up because see, over here, in the US, we have kind of like we're kind of self-centered in the sense of we think that we're it. We think that we're it, Judah, we're it, Judah, everybody walking around with a Judah shirt and so on and so forth. So we think that we're it, but we fail to realize that many of us are still left over there. Some of us were sent over, scattered to the four corners. But many of us are still over on the continent.
Yeah. I mean, you do the DNA, it matches. And the DNA match. Our DNA match with them. Yeah.
Right. So, like you said, if we don't want to listen, there's some folks who will. If we don't want to get into the covenants, there's some folks who will.
Yeah, and I really think it's gonna be real. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I get it." Once they probably have an auntie that's cooking on that pot in that pot. You hear me?
And when you mentioned about the 10 women to the one pot,
that's right.
We may not have Actually, let me take that back. We do have in the United States 10 women cooking to one pot. When you have a
What?
situation, it's what we call it's what we call homelessness. And I'm not talking about homelessness in the sense of you're
Okay.
living on the street. I'm talking
Yeah.
about you got groups of families living in one little apartment. They live in auntie's apartment, and we're
Yeah. Yeah.
all grouped into that apartment. You may
Wow.
have auntie, you may have grandma, you may have, uncle, whoever. You got all of these people living in one spot.
Mm.
And we're all cooking in the one pot. We're all using the same microwave to warm up our noodles. So we not
Mm.
eating bread over here, but we sure eating those Roman noodles.
Mm. Yeah, then the Roman noodles are not, they're not what they call it? Nutrition.
It's not nutritional at all. Well, it's not nutritional at all, and we're teaching our kids to eat the Takis and all of this kind of stuff, warming it up in the microwave. So we're still experiencing the 10 women to one pot. It just looks a little different
Mm.
from us
Mm.
because we don't
Man,
have an outside
hey,
food.
that'll be a nice shirt. 10 women to one pot. That'll be a nice shirt.
Yeah, that is a nice shirt, and that's that can start a conversation because it
Right.
is still 10 women to one pot here.
Mm. That's the poverty, right? That's the poverty.
That's poverty.
And rice, tell me about rice. Is rice nutritious? Like as just a meal, that's all you eat. Don't I know rice fills you up, right? I know it fills you up.
Right.
It make you feel like cool.
I'm not sure about the nutritional value of rice.
White, white rice.
Rice is a
White
thing, white
white.
rice probably not so much, but black folks in our rice, so I'm not gonna say
No. I'm not. I'm talking about Africa. I'm talking about like if they're eating just rice. They're
yeah,
so poor. They
we can't just eat rice. We gotta eat vegetables, and it has to be
yeah,
balanced. You can't just eat rice. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
What do you think about, what do you, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just real good, and I like that the focus is we're always talking about the Deuteronomy 28. I like that the focus was in
No.
Leviticus.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said we're always talking about as a people, whether we're Muslim Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, or don't want to call ourselves Hebrew Israelites, period. The Israelite world, we're always talking about the Deuteronomy 28. So I like that we weren't even in Deuteronomy 28 today. We were in Leviticus.
Leviticus, yeah.
Leviticus,
What, 26? Leviticus 26.
Yeah.
10 women in one pot.
I like that. Look, and we use also Quran today. We had a couple ayats from the Quran.
Yeah. But what do you think about the forgiveness that we have to totally humble ourselves, and how the Black Power movement is totally against that? They glorify their ancestors like they were perfect.
Well,
They were worship.
We see how that worked out for us.
Mm.
Again, it goes into submission because with the so-called Black Power movement, we were still arrogant. We were still walking around like we could solve our problems. We intentionally kept religion out of the equation. We walked around like we could solve our problems. So look what happened to that. We were massacred. And if you weren't massacred, we were destroyed with drugs.
Drugs. That didn't happen to the Wallace Dean community and the Nation of Islam.
Exactly.
They're
some
still
of us still here, still thriving.
Still building. They got schools, high schools, they're still building, still doing good, making deals.
Right. And then even if we look at the civil rights movement, so the Black Power movement, that was an extreme left approach. But if we look at the extreme right approach, which was the civil rights movement using Christianity and the Trinity worship, so we can look at those two extremes. So let's look at our communities and with the churches and so on and so forth. They're not doing it. They're not doing any better. Churches are in the hood. Big,
Yeah.
beautiful churches are in the hood. Okay, and people are
Yeah.
giving their tithes and so on and so forth. But the same thing, the same, we have the same final result:
I think
poverty,
yeah.
death.
If I was like a king or a ruler or a governor, I would say if well, I'm not saying I'm not with no church or nothing like that, but I'm just gonna say this. This hypothetical. If them, it should not be within a 1 mile radius. It should not be not one homeless person in a 1 mile radius of a church. Not one homeless person. Or let's say of a mosque or religious building. You hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, I hear you.
You hear what I said?
Yes,
You did hear what I said?
yes.
What you
Go
think
ahead.
about that? I don't think it need to be. I said I don't think it need to be one homeless person within a 1 mile radius of a religious institution, church,
Oh,
mosque, whatever.
of course not. Of course not. It shouldn't be a homeless person.
That would be a great.
One thing that I love about the Ward of Dean community is it says, you know, they have a thing of we take care of ourselves. We take care of ourselves and we take care of we take care of our people. So we should have, like you said, there should be food pantries, there should be housing uh, choices and options for folks. It shouldn't be a situation where around the church or around the masjid or around the temple, whatever it is that you do, that we have people who are starving. Women shouldn't need to result to um, illegal practices. Men should need to result to illegal practices. So I
Yes.
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, all of that goes back to number one, submitting, number two, repenting, number three, getting into the laws. If we do those things, everything else will fall into place. You won't have churches and masjids and temples with homeless people around it, crime around it, and things of that nature.
Yeah, it said there won't be one poor person amongst you.
Right. Because if you look at the statistics in the United States, and I wish I could find the study, but there's a study when we're looking at wealth and we're looking at the wealth spread. When you funnel it down to the various religions, who's doing well, who's not doing well, the Muslims as a whole do better than other citizens in this country.
Wow.
The Muslims, there's a study out there when it looked at wealth and it looked at prosperity across the nation. The Muslims are doing better.
That's amazing.
If we look at the countries, we look at the wealthy countries that are not European countries. The Muslims are doing better as far as wealth goes. Why? Why is that? Understanding that there is no God who has no sons, no daughters, no partners.
That's right.
But that's the first thing.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Beautiful.
So if the folks over in Africa, the Israelites over in Africa can get into that understanding that there's no God who has no sons, no daughters, no partners, and get into the laws, the resources in Africa is way more vast than the resources over in the Emirates
Any country.
Any country.
Africa can feed the world. They already do. They feed the world. If Africa get it together, be so wealthy. I don't think there'll be any poor people in Africa. Well, now I'm not gonna say all Africa is big, but like let's say let's just one little area, one country. I just choose a country. If one country decide to do that and be right, there won't be any poor people in that one country. Land, resources, everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the mission. I think we could do it. Our ancestors did the evil stuff. Didn't they do the evil stuff? I think we could do the good stuff.
Yeah, definitely do the good. And like you say, stop worrying about, stop fighting with folks for something that's not yours.
Mm.
I don't. You know, we're yeah. You know, our argument is we built it, we built this, we built that, we deserve this, we deserve that. Well, guess what? The Creator has told us that if we follow the laws and follow the covenant, we'll have. Okay, He'll show favor on us, and we don't need to. You know, it's like if you think about it, it's like kids on the playground, right?
Right.
And you see a kid playing with a shiny toy, and you want that toy, even though that toy is not your toy. You want that toy because all the other kids on the playground have the toy. You didn't get the toy because you didn't. Your parents told you that if you do what you're supposed to do your chores or whatever it is, then you'll get the toy too. But you didn't get the toy because you didn't follow directions. But you see all the other kids on the playground, and so instead of saying, "Man, I didn't get the toy because I didn't follow directions," I'm gonna go try to take their toy. I want to take their toy. No, let's just get into these laws and we can get our own toys.
We'll have our own toys. Yes, we will. Have more toys and it'll be everlasting.
Yeah, inshallah, that's right.
I know they feel, our people feel like, you know, we was wrong. Like we wasted our time building this country, 400 years building this country. We got to get something. But hey, we was brought over here to serve.
Right.
And that's it.
If we look at it like this, it was a jail sentence. The same way if we were put in prison, put in jail or incarcerated, and while we were there, we were working. Like many of the prisons around the country, they have factories where people are making different products for companies and things of that nature.
Yeah,
they're that's what they're doing. Now, when those prisoners get out, they're not saying, "Hey, this company owes me this and owes me that," because they had free labor from me. It is what it is. We were in captivity.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the people think that they don't know that it was a punishment and it was a sentence because they don't believe.
So
they
that's
don't
the
know.
first thing, belief.
Yeah,
that's the
they don't
first
know.
thing, belief. Getting out of the victim mentality and accepting what we did, accepting what we're still doing.
Right.
We're still Trinity worship.
Yeah.
We're still not following the laws. And for the one and for and you know, I'm Muslim, so I'm gonna pick on us, the Black Muslims, some of the Black Muslims. We're still not following all of the scriptures.
Yeah.
We'll go into that. We'll go into these other texts.
Yeah.
That are not revealed scriptures. So that's where we are with that. We got to clean. We got to spiritually clean ourselves up. All of us. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone has room for improvement.
That's so true.
But like I said, brother, very good lesson.
Yeah. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Let me see. Arazak. Peter. You there? Let me see. Brother might not be there. No. Okay, he might be away. But yes, I mean, it's hard for our people to get away from victim mentality and start taking responsibility, not just for us, what we did, but again, ancestors did to put us in this situation. The Creator knew we was going into slavery. The Creator sanctioned that we were going into slavery. It was a prison sentence, and we're at the end of the prison sentence. Hopefully, we're at the end. Oh yeah, brother, can you come on? I want you to talk about that war. If like the Fulanis in Nigeria, I talked about it a little bit. The from maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Could you talk to us about that war, man? War. It came from the Igbo. Is it possible for you to get on just for a couple of minutes? If you can, it's all right. I'm gonna see if he can get on. He give us a little history lesson. He told me about it. It was interesting. Let me see. He might be preparing. Just let me know if you can't. Let me know, and I just shut it down if you can't. Let me see. Is that too long? Catch up. Yeah, I should go into something else. Yeah. Oh, you can barely hear my voice. Let me type it in, okay? Hold on. Poor network. Okay, it's all right. There. Yeah, I typed the question. But nah, we'll just do it another time because I want you to be on and speak it. I want you to just type it. We'll do it another time. If you can't come on, we'll talk about it another time. No problem. All right, so to the topic, and then I will shut this thing down. Wealth gap, racism, trying to eliminate racism off the planet. I think we will go farther as a people if we focus on keeping the laws. Now, I'm not saying just sit in the closet and just read the scriptures all day and don't live life. All right. The commandment says 6 days shall you work, and on the Sabbath is a Sabbath. People look at that command as the seventh day. They only look at the Sabbath. They don't look at the part. It's 6 days you work. So work is a commandment as well. No, it's bad. I will come. I will come on after you type the question because I can't hear clearly from over there. Over here. Okay. Just jump on and I'll type the question. I'm gonna type the question. Might be something different. Spelled it wrong. All right, that's my question. Come on. I messed up. Let's see. Okay, we waiting for the brother to come on. Like again. And then we're gonna be out of here. We'll be out of here about 5 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Assalamu alaikum,
rahmatullah.
brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa
Alaikum
rahmatullah.
salam.
All right.
Oh, you froze. What was in? He did say he had a connection issue. So if it works out. If it don't, then we'll
I'm trying to
shut
get
it down.
a good position where there's good network. Uphill.
I think he'll be back in a second.
All right.
You're back. Your screen was
Talking
frozen. You're
about
back.
talking about the Fulani war. Nigeria is being ruled by the Northerners. So the power belongs to the north, where we have the Fulani and Hausa Muslims. When the British came to amalgamate Nigeria, we had different tribes and languages and geopolitical zones. They tried to join us together into one country, Nigeria. And at the end of it all, they gave power to the Northerners. The Northerners are the Fulanis and Hausas, and they are Muslims. So after a long time, there was partiality in the way the Easterners are being treated in the government and other non-Hausas. So the people felt like the union is not okay, that it doesn't favor everybody, because it's like you're living under another kind of slavery where you don't have equal opportunities and equal rights. Majority of the people in the parliament are from the north. At times they sack, they fire some people who are not Northerners and bring in another Northerner to replace them. For a long time now, the Igbos have never been president of Nigeria.
Gotcha.
Yes, for I know since I was born, the Igbos have never ruled Nigeria.
They never ruled. And what about Yoruba? What about the Yoruba? Have they ever ruled?
No. The Yorubas have been going in interchanging with the Hausas.
Okay.
Yeah. I think people said it's because of the Biafran War, where the Igbos wanted to secede from Nigeria. They want a country of their own. Okay, so they fought the war and the Igbos were conquered. So they could not go. And ever since then, they were not given opportunity to come into government. Probably they think if they come in, and they have the power, they will want to divide the country and go. But they've not been in power. So many souls were lost. The Igbos feel that they have a different culture. They are among the Igbos who claim to be Israelites. There are many of them who believe they are from Israel, from Abia State, Anambra State, and others. Abia, it sounds like a name in the Bible.
Yeah.
Abia means like, Yah is my father. There's a state like that. So They fought the war and they were conquered. But I was talking to one of my colleagues at my place of work. I said, it may be difficult for the Igbos to secede, or for any other non-Hausa Fulani tribes to secede from Nigeria, or to have the backings from God. Why? Because we have not gone back to the law. We don't even know who we are, or we don't act who we are, and we don't have backings. The Hausas, I believe the Hausa Fulani will continue to rule Nigeria.
Yeah, they rule Nigeria. Yeah.
Yes, until people know where they are and they have it right with their God. Now, I was telling my colleague, I said, the Hausas are Muslims. The Fulanis are Muslims. They are doing what Allah asked them to do.
That's
They
true.
uphold their religion. They are very serious with their religion. You know, they're not like Christians who don't care about their religion or their God. The Muslims could get offended when you treat their religion in a very bad way, or you mock their religion. They can get offended. They're very serious. They love their religion with passion. So I see them upholding their own covenant with Allah, of, you know, upholding Islam, and they're trying to enforce it. Like yesterday, there was sex party in Kaduna State. That was the state I was residing before I came back to Lagos. There was sex party in an hotel. So the governor of the state went ahead and demolished the hotel. Now, he demolished the hotel because Islamically they don't like it, and the place is dominated by Muslims. He did that not under the common law, I think. Even though the law is supposed to reign supreme, he did that based on religious sentiment that, oh, they're coming to corrupt our people. And nobody has been able to do anything, you know, about it. Though the owner of the hotel may sue the government to court and claim damages or whatever, but they are likely not going to take it serious. The government will likely get away with it. I'm not against what the government has done, because in a sane society, such things should not be allowed. What I'm trying to say is that they have power to do what they want to do, and they have the passion to uphold their religion. But the Igbos and the Yorubas and the Southerners, you know, I'm from the South. We have not started upholding the Torah. I told my colleague, if we start upholding the Torah and doing what Allah wants us to do as Israelites, then the table, which there will be a shift, there will be a turnaround, then Allah will empower us. And you know, the Igbos are asking for a referendum. You know, they want to sit on a round table and discuss this union called Nigeria. They want to, like, okay, let there be an agreement. You rule, I rule, you know, we have this entitlement, you have this entitlement, but nobody is ready to sit on a round table with them.
Gotcha. So why do the Igbos want that? Go ahead.
Nobody is ready to sit on a round table with us or with, and there's nothing we are doing. There's nothing we can do. We are doing about it. We're doing a lot of things, but it's not working.
So, not working, right?
So, but I believe if we, then the cost will be turned away from us, and then we will have almost, if not more power, but at least we will not be ruled upon. So then our voices will be heard. And so if we don't go back to the Torah and uphold the covenant and uphold the law, I believe that this is going to continue for a very long time.
For
a very long time. Because we have no spiritual spiritual backup to say, okay, from Allah that we can rely on. We're just wielding power, you know, doing all we can do, but it's not working. It's not working.
The Christianity, so some of the Christianity, Igbos are Christians too, right? In Yoruba?
But
Igbos are Christians too in Yoruba. Hold on, let me type it in.
All right, brother. Yes. I can say about 80% of Igbos are Christian. About 80% are Christian. Then the Muslims among them are numbered. They are very, very few. They are very, very few.
Right.
Probably 2%, just few. It's not common. Islam is not a common thing with them. So about
Gotcha.
80% are Christians. Probably the remaining 18% will be traditional worshippers and those who don't want to, who are against this white religion. Because there are Igbos who believe that Christianity is a white religion. They came to
Gotcha.
impose it on them. So
Yeah.
they don't want to take it.
Gotcha.
And among the Igbos are those who feel like, okay, we are going back to the Torah. We have more Torah observant Nigerians in Igbo land than any other place.
Gotcha.
I have to say that. Yeah, because when you check the Hebrew, the Torah observing Christians are mostly from the east.
What about Yoruba?
More of them in the east. Many of them are rejecting
What about
Christianity
Yoruba?
because they believe it came from the white. It came through the white, and they don't trust these white men. But
Yeah, we have the
many
same thing here.
are Christians. More are Christians. About 80%
Hmm.
are Christians.
What about Yoruba?
That in Yoruba land,
What about Yoruba?
we have almost equal number of Muslims and Christians. It's almost like 50-50
Oh,
in Yoruba land.
that's
Yeah.
good.
There are places where you go to. There are places where you go to, Muslims dominate. Like places like Kwara State are dominated by Muslims. There was a time they don't sell on to Christians. If you want to build a church, they don't sell on to you. They are Muslim. But recently, I think they are opening up a bit. Then places like Ibadan, mostly Muslims, and so many other places. But on the average, I can say 50-50. And in the north, there are like 90% Muslims or 95% Muslims.
Hold on. Hold on one second.
All right.
No, I spelled that wrong. I spelled it wrong.
No. The traditionalists among Yorubas would be like 10%. The traditionalists among Yorubas, they would be like 10 to 15%. And we have traditional religion, but they are very few.
Hmm.
In the past, Yoruba land was more of traditionalists. In the past, in the early 60s, we have more of traditionalists.
Looks like we lost
Okay, the brother dropped off. Yeah, what you think, Nor? That was some good information. I mean, that's good. I mean, I thought Yoruba was like all like 90%, but that's great that they're like,
Yeah, very good
you know,
information. So
getting
that just shows
right.
like a reformation. You know, we're
Yeah,
reforming all
something
over the
better.
world.
Right.
Yeah, in
Hold
the
on, we got
past,
another.
yeah, in the past, there were more traditional Yorubas.
Right. There's another question.
Okay. Well, for now, we are one nation. We are under compulsion to be one nation because we live under the entity of entity called Nigeria. We are one nation for now, but we are united in one. So presently, the Yorubas are clamoring to go from Nigeria. The Igbos want to go, but the House says no. We must stay together as one.
Mm. So the Hausa wants
Yeah,
unity. Mm.
the Hausas want unity. Some
Mm.
people think it's for selfish reason, but I can't say because they believe there is oil in the south. There's
Mm.
oil, petroleum in the south. Okay, we have in the north. So some people always think it's because of the petroleum, but I don't know. But I know a lot of resources come from the south. The north is
Mm.
usually dry. We have good
Mm.
forests in the south, good land for agriculture in the south. In the east, south, east, and west, we have good land for agriculture. We have good forest resources. We have rainfall, good annual rainfall. But in the north,
Mm.
more of savanna, dry land, and that. So they do a lot of irrigation to get their farm going. Yes, the south has the natural resources. We
Hold on.
have the natural resources in the south. So I believe one of the reasons why they don't want us to go, they believe we want to go for selfish reason. So they won't let go.
Mm. But I got one more. And I gotta put Ben on it. Is it untapped resources?
Yeah.
Was that a yes?
I can say 90% is on tap. I can say 90% is on tap because we have, yeah.
Wow.
So those who have the money, they come in and do a lot of things. Complete unity is very, very unrealistic.
Mm.
Yes, because of the
Yeah.
religious groups and also the different languages. All right.
Mm. Of course.
Um, yeah. So it's not really realistic. Complete unity is very unrealistic. For example, in the mosque, in the masjid, an Hausa man wouldn't want a Yoruba man to lead them.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Like when they go into the mosque, yes, when they go into the mosque and you're a Yoruba or any other tribe, they wouldn't want you to lead them. So they would rather wait for that Jama, for that prayer to be over, then they can start theirs immediately.
Wow.
So if in Islam they have this discrimination, then you understand how deep the disunity is. One of the reasons is that they believe that they are more sincere in Islam, and I believe so. Yes, they are more sincere. The Northerners are more sincere. They are more truthful. They are more straightforward, but they are more violent also. They are more sentimental when it comes to religion. Okay, but they
Mm.
believe that the Yorubas, many of them are not. They think many Yorubas are hypocrites, but not true. Not actually true. It's
Are they
just that the
people?
Hausas defend the Dane.
Mm.
Yes. Islam doesn't want tribalism in the Dane. Yeah, and it is not totally true that people who are not Hausas are not serious with the Dane. It's just that they are not violent. Okay, so when you call for jihad, they are going to weigh it and feel like, is this necessary? Is this jihad
Mm.
called for? So they don't jump
Mm.
into it like that. So they all start to feel like, oh, these are hypocrites. And it is when it comes to jihad that
Oh.
this issue of hypocrisy comes in. People like, oh, you're afraid to die, you're a hypocrite. So
Got.
they never see the other tribes as being serious Muslims. But that's
Okay.
not
So okay. So
totally true.
so
That's
saying
totally true.
you're saying when the Falanis call for jihad, the Hausa be like, hold on, let's just think about it. Let's judge this out.
No,
So
no,
the
no.
Falanis
The
think of the
Yorubas,
Hausa sometimes as hypocrites.
no, the
Or the
Hausas call on
Yorubas,
jihad.
they be like,
The Hausas call on jihad. The Yoruba says, no, let's
oh,
think about it. Yeah. They don't go into
the
jihad. They
Yorubas
don't
like, let's
like.
think about it.
Yeah, the Yoruba land is more like in the Yoruba land, you can practice your religion without fear of anything. Like if you come with
Gotcha.
it's like if you go to the north with a strange mazhab, let me put it that way, with a strange
Right.
mazhab,
Like Islam
they
House
are going to
Israel.
attack you.
Yeah.
If,
Gotcha.
yes, Islamic mazhab, they are going to attack you.
Right. Right.
So that's why the Shias are in the north. The Shias are the second major sect in the north.
Also,
Okay.
the North are Shiite. They're not Sunni.
Recently, some 4 years, yeah, recently, Imam Zaki is the leader of the Shia in the north. He was killed.
Mm.
He was brutalized by the Nigerian army. The Sunnis, the Hausa Fulanis are Sunnis, okay, and
Gotcha.
they rule Nigeria, and they are
Right.
against the Shias. So when the Shias were trying to like hold ground and be, they were growing in number, and they were forming their own militia.
Oh man.
They have their military. So the government saw that as a threat, and they came and the leader was captured. They hadn't fought any jihad at all. They've not brought out weapon to fight. No.
Right.
What they did was they were having a program, so they took over some part of the community and were in control of the community. At that moment, the chief of army staff was and his envoy were coming, so they were stopped, and they felt offended that another body is trying to have a control over the movement of that community. So that was when they were attacked. Well, some people feel it was all planned because when you know people are
Mm.
having an occasion, you can try to stay away from them. It's just a day.
All right. So basically, the government is not that strong. The
Why
government don't
some
have control of the areas.
yes,
Right.
yes, and yes, bro.
Cause
So
Nigeria is
what I'm saying is
big.
that now Nigeria is very, very big.
Mm.
It's very, very big. It's very, very big. So when the Shias were attacked by the government, the Sunnis were happy. They did nothing.
Mm. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to answer this question. So when the Shias were attacked,
Okay.
the Sunnis were happy. Okay, that the Shias were attacked. Why? Because they
Right.
don't tolerate any mazhab. They don't tolerate any other mazhab that is not Sunni. So now, but in
Are
the
they
south,
happy?
we have Shias. They go freely in the south, in Yoruba land, in Igbo land, in the south where I come from. You can do whatever you want to do. Whatever mazhab you have, no one is going to attack you. You may have
Right.
arguments, debates with people, but they're not going to attack you. And
Right.
that's
Right.
why it's free. Most people, they kind of go on exile to the south. Like when I was in the north, I was embracing the Bible, and they
Mm.
got offended, so I was asked to leave. So I came to the south. I'm from the south, so I came back to my zone. All right. So that's why.
Well, I don't understand that statement.
I don't get your last question, but I'll answer the
I
previous
get it.
one. You're talking
Yeah.
about the whites who come to the country. The whites
Yeah.
who come to the country to do business, they have protection from the
Mm.
police.
Oh, the police. Gotcha.
Yeah, they have protection. They have protection. Yeah, the government assign policemen to them, or they make requests for policemen who goes around with them, and they go about their business. And they don't really attack black-owned businesses. They don't. It's not the business.
Good. Good.
It's
They don't
about
attack black.
when there is problem. Yeah, it's not
I got.
like the people attack black-owned businesses. No, they don't go after black-owned businesses. There are criminals everywhere, so they can rob whoever they can rob. They can rob whoever they have access to, because just like any other place in the world where you have criminals. Okay, and the whites, like in the south, there are times they even kidnap whites more than blacks. Okay, because they believe money is going to come from
Oh,
it. So
right.
yeah, so they don't have any preference. We don't have the indigenes of Africa, of Nigeria, don't have preferential treatment,
Mm-hmm.
that favors the whites against the blacks. The only treatment they have is because they are from foreign land. For international diplomacy, cause for you to protect their people in your land, so that there will be no war between countries. Of course, you have to prepare. You have to protect the foreigners who are in your land.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not like they prefer, But in South Africa, they even attack foreigners and whites more than their people. All right, but in Nigeria, we don't have preferential treatment that favors the white against the blacks. No.
Right.
I mean, the Hausa and Fulani, they are very sincere. Okay,
Yeah.
when you are into business with them, they are likely not going to cheat you. They are likely
Gotcha.
to give you the full measure, and they live a very simple lifestyle. Okay, uh, they are very serious with what religion they choose. They are serious with Islam. Uh, they, they they are likely not to betray you except there is a war. Okay, except
Gotcha.
in case of war. Yeah. So you can, if you are living amongst them, there's no fear of you don't there's no competition. No, in
Right.
the south here, people compete with cars and all that, but in the north, people live a
Not.
you know a
Right.
communal life. Okay, where yeah, but in the south, people tend to be more independent. When you have money, you want to go to a place where you can live alone and eat your money alone. You fence your house, and you don't want people around you. But the northerners are very free. Those are some good things about them. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna let you go in a minute. Let me see the north. One second.
And I want to add that whatever, no, the South are rich, but the North controls the resources, try to control the resources. Populated.
Control.
So,
Say that again, please, cause you kind of cut out.
okay. All right. I'm saying that the South, the South is richer, okay, while the North
Mm-hmm.
is poverty stricken.
Gotcha.
The reason is because in the South, because of what people face, the challenges we face from the government, we have more businessmen, we have people who are independent, who are doing businesses, traveling abroad, trying to make ends meet. But the Northerners, they live should I say, a social life, a life that is close to socialism also, where only few are rich and others depend on them. Right? A typical Northerner is ready to have a very small business and is satisfied. It doesn't push to become very rich. Okay,
Mm.
and we have more beggars in the north. Okay, instead of they are ready to beg their whole lifetime. Like the
Mm.
southerner will don't give me money to eat today and tomorrow I'll come back to you. Please give me money to start a business. That's the
Right.
typical southern mentality.
Right.
Okay, can you please raise money for me to start business so I can be independent? But the northerner will come to you and ask for a measure of grain for today, and will come again tomorrow
Right.
to ask for more for another. So they don't seek to Southerners and Easterners are richer. The Igbos are richer than the Hausas because they do business. Yeah. The Yorubas too are richer because
Oh,
we have
all right.
natural
My
resources.
last question: If the hold on, if can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, bro.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Okay. If the Igbos are richer, okay. If the Igbos are richer, why they don't rule the country? It's
Yes,
weird. If the South is richer,
in
Northerners
this
rule and
country,
they're
yeah, in this country, power is different and wealth is different.
mm,
Yeah, the power has always been with the North. For example, if you go into the Nigerian army, many 80% of the generals are Hausas.
mm.
Yes, and recently they removed more Southerners and replaced them with Northerners because they
Oh,
fear that there's going to be a revolution. So
wow.
they know the Hausa soldiers will be more loyal to the country. On a serious note, the Hausa soldiers are more loyal to the country because they don't want the country to be divided. So the power has always been in the North. So you can have your money, but they have the power. You can have your
Mm.
money and they come with the military. They come with the military and chase you away with your money.
Oh,
So the
they got
military,
the
yeah, so the military is always superior to wealth. Yeah. And you can have your money and you are told you cannot have a military or you cannot purchase a weapon or you cannot have access to
right.
military
Mm.
power. So there's no way you can fight with your money if you don't have power.
Gotcha. I totally understand. That makes sense.
Yeah. And
Makes
another reason is that the Northerners are more in population than the Southerners. The land mass of the North is
Oh,
more than the land mass of the South. So
gotcha.
there's no way they are more in the army. If you go to a typical barrack in the South, Hausa language is spoken in the barracks, and people get to
Oh,
understand Hausa language in the barrack. Because, yeah, I grew up in the barrack, so I learned some Hausa language in the barrack because we have many of them. So they dominate the military. So there's no way. Ever since the Biafra war, there have been strategy to make sure that the North dominates other people in the military, in all the forces, the armed forces, Air Force, Navy, and even the police force. So,
that makes sense. I
so once you
understand.
have that, you have the control. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's interesting. Very interesting. All right, I'm gonna shut it down. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming sharing that and stuff. We might just do a segment just asking you questions, man. Because that's good for everybody to get some understanding on what's going on around the world. So I'm gonna shut it down. Thank you so much for coming. Assalamu alaikum. All right, y'all. I got to go. I think I think it was a good build. We learned a little bit about Nigeria. Next time I'm gonna ask them about the what was going on, like I think the elections or something was like killing people in Nigeria. The police. I wondered, is that the same as the Hausa and the Igbo situation? I ask them that next time. All right. For right now, I gotta go. Next Sunday, 10:30. Make sure you be here. 10:35, right? 10:35 Sunday Eastern time. And y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. See you later. Let's see.